Hello, my name is Jack Heslin, and thank you very much for visiting our website today, J3Dservices.com. I've been in the 3D printing industry for just about 3 years, most of that with one particular company that manufactured a desktop FDM type 3D printer. And that was a great experience where I got to work with companies in manufacturing and STEM education and architecture. But that experience taught me, and subsequent months have proven to me, that there's a need in the marketplace to help companies evaluate 3D printing solutions before they either invest in a printer or decide how they'll use this technology in their production or prototyping processes. What I mean by that is most companies just sell a 3D printer. Maybe they sell a variety of 3D printers, but they don't have a lot of depth of knowledge about them. Other companies do print services. At J3D, we do two different things. Do we sell 3D printers? Yes, we do. And we sell great 3D printers. We have MakerBots and Airwolfs, the Markforged, a Fusion 3D, the Polar 3D, and those printers represent a variety of price points, but a variety of materials, meaning we can do prints in carbon fiber and Kevlar, or your very common ABS and PLA prints. The reason that's valuable, and this is the print services part, companies will come to us who are on the fence about do we buy a 3D printer or not, but can we do a print for them? Well, the answer is yes. Learn about the application, what environment will the print go into, and from that, we choose the right printer, the right material, we do the prints they need, and then from that, over time, they can figure out, is that the right printer for them? Or if they don't need a printer, they just keep ordering prints. So this has proven to be a very effective model. Now, part of J3D's mission is to always be evaluating what solutions are coming onto the market to help a variety of different customers in different applications. Well, a few months ago, I learned about a company in Houston, Texas called Lazarus 3D. Lazarus was founded by a fellow with a PhD, the medical scientific background, and he was getting, I don't want to say tired or frustrated with, but he felt that these hard plastic 3D printed anatomical models didn't go far enough in helping medical school students and surgeons learn everything they could from this technology. Now, this was printed in PLA. As you can see, it's a vertebrae, and it's fine. It's anatomically correct, but all you can really do is a presentation with it. So let's put the vertebrae aside and take a look at what Lazarus has done. Now, this is a kidney, and this particular kidney has a tumor. And if you were here, and I'd love to meet you sometime, the hardness on the kidney is different than the hardness on the tumor. Now, why does that matter? Because this is 3D printed in silicone, and as such, it has a very similar resistance to human tissue. You could take a scalpel to this. You could actually practice your surgical procedure on this kidney to remove this tumor before you did the actual operation on the patient. Now, this is new in 3D printing, and it is a really, really big deal. But we don't need to just look at the kidney. Here is a brain. Now, I sat down with some surgeons recently from Yale New Haven Hospital in New Haven, Connecticut, and one of them, we're sitting there at a table in sort of a cafe area, and he starts poking the brain. He's poking it. And he says, you know something? It just feels right. Now, I'll have to take his word for it. I don't have a lot of practice feeling brains. But the point is, just like with the kidney, you could operate on this. And another model we have here, say you needed to practice or wanted to practice removing tumors. So here's a whole variety of tumors, different shapes, different sizes. Now, when you remove a tumor, as doctors and medical school students know, it's important not to cut into the tumor. So with these, you can just practice, again, getting the right resistance to the scalpel, getting the right feel for the tissue to be able to remove these. This is a duodenum, which I guess goes, I don't know, right about there or something like that. Now, I'm not up on my duodenum, so I'm going to confess that. But again, the surgeons that I have sat down with will, poke and prod at these models and say, yeah, it feels just about right, and you could practice a procedure on these just like you would an actual patient. Now, over here to my right is a very interesting model. Just give me a second because it's kind of heavy. It's actually very heavy. Now, as you can see, this is half of the thoracic region. It's a chest. There's the pectoralis. There's the incision from a surgeon, from a surgery. Now, if we turn this around this way a little bit, there's the lung, and there's a heart muscle. Now, getting back to what we're talking about with hardness, and I'm going to come back to this in a second. Now, this heart, as you all know, the heart's a muscle. I can tell you this feels like a muscle. This is tough. This is hard. This lung is soft. Now, here's what gets really interesting. If we go inside this chest cavity here, you can see there are ribs. And I'm going to stop talking for a second. Hopefully you could hear that. That's me hitting the rib. So the rib has its hardness. The outer layer of skin here has the consistency, the tissue you'd expect it to have, feel. The heart has the hardness you'd expect. The lung is soft like you'd expect. Now this is all not one print. I want to be clear about that. This is multiple prints that were fused together. The point is, and we have a video of this on our website, this is an excellent thoracic model to practice a thoracic procedure. This is really new in 3D printing. This can do a world of good for medical school students who can practice to get it right. But say you've been a surgeon for years, you have a lot of experience. You don't need to practice on standard operations that maybe you've done many times. If you have a patient with a specific ailment, if you can get us the data for that patient, there's a very, very good chance we can reproduce the model unique to that patient. I can sum it up this way. I was sitting recently with a fellow who has a thoracic background, and he said, "Can I get a lung with emphysema?" We laughed and said, yes, if you can get us the data, we can get you a lung with emphysema. So medical school students, surgeons, but also companies that manufacture medical devices, medical technology, who need soft tissue models for their prototyping. So they, as they make their device, they need to know that it fits correctly, has the right feel, the right function. These are excellent for that as well. So this is just an incredibly exciting time in 3D printing. J3D is thrilled to be working with Lazarus here in the Northeast, kind of from, say, Boston to New York or Boston to Philadelphia. And there's a very good chance that you in your medical practice, either you could use or you know someone who could use these types of resources. So what's the best thing to do next? Well, you've already visited our website, j3dservices.com. You've noticed there's a contact form there. Please fill out the form. It'll come to us. We will get back to you very quickly. Or on our website is the coolest phone number in 3D printing, 844-J3D-MAKE. There is no cooler phone number in 3D printing than that. Give us a call. We would love to talk to you about the potential applications you see for these models, and we'll find out how these can help you benefit in your medical education and your medical practice. Thank you very much. I'm Jack Heslin. I really appreciate you listening to this, and we will talk to you soon.